the sound of the bounding rain pouring down from above. I hear the sound of a bounding rain pouring down from above, pouring out today, pouring over me, made my life anew, and I am complete.
It's pouring out today, pouring over me,
Made my life anew, I am complete. I hear the sound.
Hello, you are welcome again to the Wundef Show. Today we are here with Janette Adu-Poku. He is a musician and he runs his own musical studio. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Charles.
The name is Janette Adu-Poku. So your stage name BiBi, Minister BiBi. How did the BiBi come in?
Wow, that's a long story.
Okay.
Actually, the BiBi is a statement of boldness.
Okay.
You know, if you know Bernard, the name Bernard means boldness.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was coined. BiBi was coined out of it, and I wanted a name that everybody can identify with. And in
Okay.
fact, before I started this ministry, people were already calling me with that name.
Okay.
So it wasn't that it was
They
a
were already
stage name.
calling you BiBi.
BiBi, yes. So anyone could
Why
call
did
me.
they start calling you BiBi?
Yeah, I was a very shy guy. You know, my name means boldness. I
Okay.
was not confident. So when I understood my name, Bernard, I saw the contradiction, you know,
Okay.
with what I was going
How
through.
can you be called Bernard and be shy?
And be shy. So I understood it. And so I decided that, okay, I want to be called BiBi. The short form of Bernard for me is BiBi. And it was that simple. And anybody could relate, you know, with that. And
Okay.
yes, so children could call me BiBi. Adults could say the same thing, you know,
Okay.
yeah, without feeling without feeling bad about it. Yes,
Okay.
and I didn't want the, you know, sometimes people say Uncle BiBi, Uncle that.
Okay.
I didn't Uncle Bernard and
So it should just be BiBi.
just BiBi.
You see, a lot of gospel artists have made it big in the music industry
All right.
without having any formal education in music.
Okay.
But you decided to go to the university to learn music. Why?
That's true. I think when I was at the age of 20,
Okay.
that was when this whole thing started.
Okay.
Even though back in the 90s when I was young, my mother really helped me in my growth, you know, as far as discovering my musical, my talent was concerned.
Okay.
But when I was around the age of 19, 20, that was when it really dawned on me, because at that time I was privileged to listen to messages on discovering your potentials and all of
Okay.
that. So I realized that that really was the dominant, you know, gift in my life, you know,
Okay.
or talent, so to speak. So we're spending time in prayer, you know, the Lord gave me a direction that that's the area that I needed to go.
Okay.
I wanted to go deeper to really know what the whole music was all about. So though my mother decided to pay for my music class, you know, learning how to play keyboard
Okay.
and all that. But behind the scene, she had also, you know, I was in Nigeria back then, she had also enrolled me, you know, tried to enroll me at University of Education. It was NAM,
Okay.
National Academy of Music back
Okay.
then. And then I was just there one day and she said, I've got or gained admission. I was like, how did it happen?
You didn't know?
And I didn't know, but I was so excited about it because everything about me was music.
No, when you completed SHS, what did you have in mind in pursuing your education? What did you want to do before the music stuff came in?
Well, I would say that it's music. It has always been music, you know, because probably I was introduced to that, you know, early. and probably, let me say, what you are exposed to most of the time, actually, sometimes it gives you a clue
Well,
of.
is your mother a musician?
No, not really.
She isn't.
No, she's not a
She
musician.
she wasn't part of
She's
any...
a midwife. One thing I know is that music is part of my mom and dad, actually.
Okay.
When you actually hear us, harmonize songs in our, house,
Okay.
those days, it was really fun. And people actually got stuck while walking, behind our house, and
They'll just stop and then
they just want
listening.
to listen to what was going on.
Okay.
So I was groomed in that kind of environment.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
So it wasn't like she was in any music group or
Okay.
anything, but I think it's something that was, within. Yeah.
So how many years were you at the university learning music?
Yeah. In 2000, I enrolled for a certificate course,
Okay.
in Winneba. It was an enrichment program for 2 years.
Okay.
So after that, I decided to serve. I was serving in one of the ICGCs in Winneba. So from there, I also got the opportunity to serve again in Kumasi with another ICGC branch.
Okay.
Okay, Royal
What were they
Temple.
taking you for, to be a music director or something?
Yes, as a
Okay.
music director.
Okay.
And I was into it full time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Like
so
a full-time job
Full
thing.
time, yes.
Okay.
Until 2007. Actually, I was in the kitchen. I was at the mission house then, and I just asked, Holy Spirit, what do you want me to do now? And I just heard school. School? It resonated, for a while, and I decided to find out what was going on, on campus, and they said, oh, admission is ongoing. So I decided to pick a form.
After the 2 years...
Yeah, after the 2 years,
enrichment program.
yes, I decided to pick up a form. That was in 2007.
Okay.
So that was how I got admission to do my degree program.
How many years was that?
4.
4 years in
Yes.
music. What were they teaching?
You get to learn a lot.
Okay.
Rudiments. You get to learn how to buy into composer's mind.
Okay.
Especially in classical music, why Beethoven did what. What was the effect? What did he want to create? Because you need to know why you want to create a kind of music, and then also to identify with what the areas, the genre you would want to follow.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then
It sounds like an interesting course.
yes, it does.
So when you were in school, were you still acting
Yes,
as
I
that
was.
role, and you were getting paid?
Yes,
something?
I was.
Oh, okay.
I was. From Kumasi to Winneba, that's about 4 or
That's-
5 hours, and I'll study from Monday to Friday, leave campus, and then go back to Kumasi.
For Saturday
for
rehearsals or
Saturday
something,
and Sunday.
then
Yeah,
Sunday.
and then sometimes leave on Sunday after service or Monday morning.
That's the way you even funded your
Yes,
education.
That's the way.
How did you end up in Obuasi?
While handling some of the choirs in ICGC, okay, Obuasi ICGC happened to be one of the choirs I was handling.
Okay.
And then my pastor said, oh, we need someone to handle the choir because Dr. Mensa Otabel is coming and we need to put the choir in shape. And I was like, okay. So I sought permission from my pastor, Reverend George Data Mensa, that this is what Reverend Silvano C.J. Brown is saying. Say, oh, okay, that's okay. So I decided to handle the choir, groom them for like 2 or 3 months before Dr. Otabel came.
Oh, okay. That's
And then-
CGC choir,
yes,
Shiloh Temple.
Shiloh Temple here.
Okay.
And then the intention was actually to raise somebody to handle the choir. You know,
Okay.
part of what I do also is to raise, to go to church that has a challenge with their choir.
Music, okay.
Just organize them, raise somebody, and then leave the place and then go.
Okay.
So that was the same thing I did. I raised someone. Then later I was told that the person had the call of God and had to go
To Bible school or
Bible
something?
school.
Okay.
So the choir was left without a music director. Okay, my pastor asked me, so can you help us? I said, yes. So I started looking for friends,
Okay.
can you go to Obuasi? Can you do this? And none of them availed themselves for it. And I was like, okay, Pastor, I'm not getting anybody to do it, and I said, okay, let's do this. I can handle it for a while.
Okay.
And when we get somebody,
Then you leave it and
then I'll
go.
leave the scene. while I was handling it for a while, my wife's boss told her that, go and tell your husband that we are transferring you to Obuasi,
Where was your wife then?
Kumasi. I can't tell how it happened, but what my wife came and told me was, go and tell my boss says I should tell
You
that
they are transferring me to
you
Obuasi.
to Obuasi. But I
Okay.
was praying because my life, you see, I talked about winning, but I was serving with, I was serving ICGC, at
Okay.
ICGC, Living Word Temple in Winneba. But I was also serving at ICGC, Praise Temple at Swedro.
Okay.
And it was Pastor Silvano C.J. Brown that was there.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
So
until
you,
he was...
you knew him even
Yes,
before he came to
until
Obuasi.
he traveled outside for
Okay.
further studies. Okay, so it was while I was there that I believe life is not static. So I felt there was something more than what I was doing. It was,
Okay.
Sometimes you are moving in a circle, you don't know what to do. So I started praying. And then the Lord opened this door for me to be in either Christ Temple headquarters or Kumasi. And I prayed. I said, God, I want you to direct me.
But then were you married?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
So the Lord, I had a leading to go to Kumasi.
Okay.
And so that's how come I found myself in Kumasi.
Okay.
So it was always asking the Lord, what's the next step? What's the next step? What's the next step? That's how come I was able to make that decision that, okay, I felt the Lord wanted me to be in Obuasi.
Okay.
And so I followed the leading of the Lord.
All right. So your wife also, they transferred it to Obuasi.
Sure. It was difficult for me, honestly speaking. When I had this leading to be in Obuasi, I didn't like the place at all because seriously, I've had several invitations outside the country, but I didn't sense the leading of God in all of them.
Okay.
Several of them, I turned them down. So why Obuasi? And that must be very difficult in fact, at a point in time, some of my friends, I didn't want to tell them that I was in Obuasi. Obuasi is a great place, but I was thinking that musically, Obuasi, because from Kumasi, I was already,
you were thinking that maybe you have to go to a bigger city.
Yes, and then, outside the country, like I said, the invitations I had.
So coming to Obuasi is like going back.
I won't say back, but that's not the arrangement.
That wasn't what you planned in your mind.
So I didn't want to be here at all.
Okay.
But, sometimes the foolishness of God, so to speak, is even wiser than men's.
Men's wisdom.
Yeah, in 1,000 ways.
Okay.
So I decided that, do I want to obey God's voice, leading, or I want to do my own thing?
All right, so do you want to obey God's voice or you want to do your own thing? You are still watching the Wundef Show and we are here with Minister BiBi. Let's go for a very short break. We'll be back soon. Welcome back to the Wundef Show. We are still here with Minister BiBi. So you said you were still contemplating where to listen to the voice of God or to go by your own means. So what happened next?
Yeah, when I even came to Obuasi, my father in the Lord, Reverend Silvano C.J. Brown, is a very selfless man.
Okay.
He looked at me one day and said, "Baby, a friend of mine needs a music director outside the country. And I feel I'm going to lose you, but I want you to go forward.
Okay.
So I wish you would take that role up, because I need you to go up." I didn't have to pray about it. I just looked him in the eye and said, my time has not come. But I had to agree with the word of the Lord because...
Why did you reject a project outside the country and decide to stay in a city which you, in the beginning, you weren't even happy? Was it because you don't want to leave your family behind or something?
Oh, well, family means a lot to me. Okay. Like, seriously, family means a lot to me. But my wife and I know something, that when the Lord asks you to do something, you have to do it, no matter what. The voice of God prevails over everything for me. Because you can be I've been in a very good place, a place that looked so good, so green, for musicians, the pay is so nice, and all that. But trust me, it's just a matter of time. You realize that things are not the way you say it. So I would rather listen to the voice of God than to pursue my own agenda. And so in the first place, even if I don't like the place, that is where God has planted me. And it is, I've now realized one of the reasons that God, asked me to come here, because staying here or being here by the grace of God, my father, Reverend Silvano Seje Brown, has really mentored me and also given me the opportunity to do many, many things. And by the grace of God, I'm also a pastor now. So it wouldn't have happened. A friend of mine called me and said, I trust him so much. He said, BiBi, you are contemplating whether to go to Obuasi or stay. Your next level is in Obuasi.
Wow.
Anyway, this is the same guy who told me one day and said, BiBi, you, if you want to tell Janette you love Janette, say it now before it's too late.
Wow.
Yes.
So you go back to that story
Yeah,
of the
definitely,
Janette
because I need to
part.
say it.
Yes, and I also need to ask you.
Yeah,
So I think he really helped.
yeah, it's helped me, and it got me settled.
Okay.
And the things that my father and the Lord exposed me to, and I was really ready. I'm still learning, really ready to learn. And he says, BiBi, I think it's time for you to go to Daniel Institute. That's the
Bible
ICGC,
school,
where we train pastors and all that. And I went, and it's been great.
So you have been there for how long now?
It's in sessions. So there are modules that you do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I finished with some. I'm left with about 2 or so.
Okay, so let me ask, why should people study music?
It's just like saying, why do people have to go to Bible school?
Okay.
I mean, you could just pick the Bible and start studying it, you know, and then come out and say you're a pastor. But there is more to what you are reading.
Okay.
Yeah, so when you come to music as well, yes, the fact that you can sing, the fact that you can play instruments and all that, you need to see it, see it as a ministry, but also see it as a profession.
Okay.
Now, if you want to pursue it as a profession, as what your profession, your career, then you need to study.
Where did you meet Janette?
At a friend's wedding.
Where?
In Kumasi.
What church?
It wasn't a church. It was at a wedding. I think I've forgotten where we had it. It wasn't at a church, setting. It was one of the schools. I've forgotten the place. Yeah.
So, who approached who, and what happened?
Yeah, I tell you one thing. When I first saw Jane, I was outside. We had just finished ministering, and it was my choir member who was having his wedding. So we're helping with other things to make sure things go well. Then I saw this beautiful image.
Nice flower.
Yeah, flashing, walking. I was like, wow, this is serious. I just admired her, and then that was it. And before I went inside, when I came back, she was sitting right there where I was before I left. Alone. So I sat down. In my family, we have a lot of ladies. So it's very easy for me to speak ladies' language. Yes. And so I just approached her. How are you? It wasn't because I wanted to tell her something. No, it's basically, anyone who knows me knows that this guy is real. I'm not in for, to say this or that. One thing I found interesting about her was how open-minded she was. You could, for the first time, I felt we found someone, we were talking at the same frequency, and there's so much to learn from
within that short period that you spent with her.
Each other. And it was so amazing. You meet someone, it's like you've met the person for years. Yeah. And then I was called, baby, they're asking us to sing a song. So I went back inside. I was so excited, you've met a new friend, and I was going back to continue the conversation.
She wasn't there.
She was nowhere to be found.
That was really sad.
I can see that on your face.
Yes.
You've experienced before, I think.
I think that is a discussion for another day. So
I'll be interviewing you on
So you came back and she wasn't there?
No, she was not there.
How did you see her again? Where did you see her again?
It was later I was told that she went with a friend, a very close friend of hers. I was one of the friends around.
So you asked.
Yeah, I asked. You know, when someone makes so much impact in your life, you need to find out.
Okay.
Maybe an angel. It's
But then
happened
both
by
of you were using phones. But you didn't.
No, I didn't take.
You didn't
I
think
didn't
of
even
make-
have the. I didn't have the opportunity to.
It was because they just called you to come
But
minister.
trust me, next time when I'm called like that, I will
You will
get
take
a
the
friend
number
to
before.
Take
All right. So you asked, and they said she went with some friends.
yes.
Okay. So,
And
mhm.
not until 1.5 years later
Okay.
that I actually saw her again. And this,
1.5 years
yes.
later.
This time she was not looking amazing as I saw before.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently she was going through a situation that weighed her down.
Okay.
So we got in touch again, and that was how things, you know.
So this time around, you took her number.
So now that she's going through, that's when the psychologist aspect or the
you.
counselor
Okay.
that's comes to play, and you know it's natural with me.
Yes,
you know, yeah.
sure.
I mean, with every
Oh, with you for now.
yeah,
Okay.
with every serious man, and I want to thank God. Ghana was going through doom so at that time,
And that
because
was
it
good for you.
produced, yes, my wife for me, because you know what, we had light, but back on campus they were having issues.
So
with
I
light.
guess the doom so extended for very long because of your prayers.
No, I
Okay,
didn't.
let's
I didn't pray.
continue.
All things work together for good.
Maybe your intentions are prayers because
So it was
Okay.
I was at the mission house then,
Okay.
and she could come to the mission house steady, you know, because she doesn't like
she was
pressure.
on which campus?
Tech, University of.
Okay, and you were
Kankuma.
at which place?
I was already home. I mean, serving my church. So
Was it
working.
close to the campus or?
It was in Abripo, Kumasi.
Yeah,
if you know
Abripo.
Abripo. Yes. I think that God knows that this BiBi guy is an indoor person.
Okay, so
After any program, I'm off to my house, church service, home.
so it
he
would have been
knows,
very difficult for you to even
yeah,
go into
very
campus.
difficult. And I had
Okay.
a very rough background, you know, like childhood. So
Okay.
I wasn't really into people. You know, my social life was some way. You know what that meant. So the Lord bringing her to my place, there were so many things that I learned from her.
How long did it take you before you started, a relationship, or a trial relationship?
I think it will be after either 6 to 8 months or a year.
Okay.
A year, we're just
Okay.
friends, and
Okay.
yeah,
After going into a relationship, how long did it take you before you got married?
I think it was about 2 years.
Okay.
It was about 2 years.
Okay. And the first time you told her that you loved her, what did she say? Because I need the answer for something.
You need the answer for
I
something.
need the answer.
You know, BiBi is a very smart guy,
Okay.
in the sense that though I have siblings who are, you know, ladies and all that, females,
Okay.
but when it comes to telling a woman, you know, heart issues, I was very scared.
Okay.
So, but I was blessed to have some books that helped me. I mean, you have stages. When to say what, when to say.
So you read those books.
I had to read the books. But I think the way you are looking at my face, you want to come.
No,
for the
I'm
book.
interested.
Be careful.
I'm interested.
So the simple thing was, I just
Okay.
told Jen, where we are now at the stage of our friendship, would you want us to take it to another level? I want to get to know you better than
That's
this.
how you said it.
Yes, and if it happens that we'll end up in marriage, then we do. I didn't force it.
Okay.
The stage where we are, would you like us to take it further? I would like to know more about you.
Okay.
She didn't want to look at my face. I pray Jane doesn't watch this. I know BiBi is a very wonderful man.
Okay.
She had seen the glory of God upon my life.
Janette have seen.
Before I could say, before the word, you know.
Okay.
So every woman who knows her
Okay.
worth,
Okay.
you know, would not want to just take a decision. Yeah, because you've said it, so
Yeah.
what? No. Even though she knew that something, you know, we're close, but she needed time to also think or ruminate about what I had told
How long
her.
did it take her to give an answer?
When a woman loves you, when a woman loves a man, you know what happens. Yeah,
You said she had to think
yeah,
about
I'll
it.
think about
Yes. Like a week?
3 days.
3 days.
Yeah, she didn't.
Because she already loved you.
Yeah,
So.
she.
How did you feel the first time she said, "I agree"?
Charles, you know what happened? Friends around me were saying that we think Jane likes you. So if you want to say something, say it. I'm like, I don't want trouble because I tried once, I was bounced. So I didn't want to, you know.
You had broken heart.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
I was so happy.
Okay.
Like I was so happy. It was like she meant the whole world to me, and I have found God again.
How many children do you have now?
By the grace of God, 4. Lion of Judah, Lion of Judah, you reign, you reign. The Lamb of God that was slain from eternity to eternity, you reign, you reign. Oh, King of kings, the Lord of lords, the mighty one, the Lord of hosts, you reign, you reign. We come boldly to you, to the throne of grace, you reign. Oh, Ngologomaya Yuda, Ngologomaya Yuda, oh for God, yeah. Omwana ngwende giyate bwa, okunjo we bibi biafi, oh for God, oh for God. Kabaka wa baka baka, mukama wa bakama, oh for God, oh for God. Tuze joli lalo, kontebeye Jesus, oh for God. Yeah. We give glory to the Lord, He reigns. We give glory to the Lord, He reigns. He reigns, He reigns, He reigns. We give glory to the Lord, He reigns. He reigns, He reigns, He reigns. We give glory to the Lord, He reigns. Oh, He reigns, He reigns, He reigns. We give glory to the Lord. We give glory to the Lord. We give glory to the Lord. He reigns.
Your first single, Afuga. What is the meaning of Afuga?
Afuga means He reigns.
Okay.
It's a Luganda language,
Okay.
you know, from Uganda.
Where did you learn that language from?
Ask me again. You know, my educational background helps me to appreciate other African countries, you know, their music, their rhythms and all that.
Okay.
And I also believe that social media is to help us, you know, link up with friends. So the Lord linked me up with this Ugandan lady, Jackie Gold.
Through social media?
Yes, Jackie Gold. And we were friends for a while. And I said, Jackie, I want to do this song. I want to translate it. So can you help me? And I was surprised. The lady is so fluent,
in
intelligent,
the language.
yes. And she helped me through it. But she was like, can this guy sing the song?
Oh, okay.
You know, can he? You know, it was my song she was translating into.
So you send a text to her in English?
Yes, in English.
And she translated to the Ugandan language?
Yes.
Okay.
To Uganda. And then she sent me the audio.
Okay.
I sang it, she corrected, sang it, she corrected, and we did that, went back and forth for like, you know, I actually worked on the song for like a year.
Wow.
You know, it was always moving, changing, and she was like, wow, you are singing like you're from Uganda. And I was like, okay, this is just great. So that's how come we're able to.
Wow.
And in fact, the when she translated, the song, I fell in love with the
lyrics, the language,
the dialect. It's not like I appreciate ours, but I believe that's what the Lord wanted me to do at that time, because the song carries so much. I'm sure you've listened to it several times. Yeah, so that's how come Afuga, was recorded.
And that was in 2016.
Yeah.
But it took you like 3 years to come out with your second song.
Yes.
Sound of Abundance.
Sound of Abundance.
Why the Sound of Abundance?
I love to worship with the keyboard.
Okay.
Like on the keyboard, yeah. And one of those prayer meetings, when pastor is leading prayer and ask you, play. And I was playing, then all of a sudden, the song came to me like that. I hear the sound of abundant rain pouring down from above. It kept on coming like that. So I picked my phone and I recorded it.
Okay.
Pastor wanted to hear things, so I was playing, but I was recording. Even if I played the original song for you, you will hear that there's a prayer, going on, and I was recording the song. And
so you were singing it to Pastor?
No, I was singing it
to yourself.
To myself.
But you were playing the keyboard
I was playing
for Pastor?
Yeah, it was
because you were going to pray.
It was a service, prayer service. And so I believe that it was a seed that had come. I needed to develop it. I needed to understand what I was going to sing, and not just because I want to bring it out as a single, but what is the assignment of the song in my life and those who are going to listen to it.
And how long did you work on that one?
For 3 years. For 3 years. There were times I actually left it because I didn't know what to do.
The first time it came to you,
yes,
to the time you release it.
Yes, it was a space of 3 years. Because, anyone who composes will tell you that there are times the line of a song will come to them. They will put it down because you don't know what to add to it.
Will you say you're a perfectionist? You want things to be done perfectly? Yeah,
sometimes it's to my advantage, but other times it's also a weakness because if you're not careful, you will wait and wait and wait and nothing will be done. But this one, I think that one, I just didn't want to bring out anything, that didn't have weight or doesn't have depth. So I hear the sound of abundance of rain. So what? So I had to go into this, go research, do Bible study to what does rain mean? The sound of abundance, what does it mean? What is God saying to me? What is He saying through the song? And the Lord helped me through that time of studying. I was able to add other lyrics to it, and so that made.
Why did you decide to bring in Sandra?
Wow. Personally, I love collaboration. But I needed to find out from. I keep saying the Lord, because He directs our step in everything we want to do. It wasn't Sandra we had in mind first. We had other people, in mind, but the Lord will keep on narrowing down the list until He gets to the right person that He wants you to. Probably because of proximity, we felt those people were ready, but they were not. They were not. There were circumstances surrounding. So maybe the day we wanted to record, they were outside the country and all that. And then my wife just said, "BiBi, I sense that we should call Sandra." I'm like, does Sandra have time? So I said, God, have your way. And then we spoke to Sandra, and she was like, I'm for it. And then that was it. I sent her the song. She said, "BiBi, this song is oily. There's. I wish I could show you the picture. The day she was singing it here. It was. She poured all her heart out. She resonated with it. It was like the thing was already in her heart. So it was that easy.
So when should we expect another song from you?
Very soon, actually.
This time I think it won't get long.
No.
Or one is already in the pipeline.
We just finished with Reason for My Existence, and there are songs that we've done. So by the end of this quarter, we should have
another.
Yes. So two more songs for the next 2 quarters.
So this year you should expect 2 more songs.
2 more songs.
One for each quarter
Yeah.
of the year.
Yeah.
Okay. Which artists in Ghana would you like or you do love to have a collaboration with?
Um, a lot of them. When I say a lot of them,
You say a lot of them.
You go
You know,
like, because I've spoken
sometimes-
to
yes,
okay, I've
okay.
spoken to several people.
Okay.
Akesi Brimpong,
Okay.
Celestine Donko.
Okay.
There's this wonderful guy, George Pipra.
Okay.
Originally, he was supposed to be on Sound of Abundance.
Okay.
He was going to get married. Please don't tell him
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
so Joe Metal.
Okay.
And a lot of them, a lot
Okay.
of them, a lot
Wow.
of them as
Wow.
well led.
All right. So where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Great. I mean, I want to see myself holding the flag of Ghana, ministering in several nations of the world. Especially like because of what I do, the Lord has called us to win souls for Him.
Okay.
And this is why I say that. I say that because of, by the grace of God, some of the miracles that God has been doing,
Okay.
you know, during my music, you know, the concerts, and it's mind-blowing. And He has promised that He would take us to the nations of the world.
Okay.
So following that word, I know that that's His mind for us. So
How long have you been running your music studio?
Since officially a year and a half here,
Okay.
but
Unofficially.
inside it's
Okay.
from 2007.
So why did you decide to start this? Now moving here and then getting all these machines here, what was your motivation and what is still your motivation for starting the studio?
Okay, I've always had the dream. This is my 20 year, you know, like dream. I dreamt about it 20 years ago.
Okay.
You know, and it was always in my house.
You dreamt of starting a musical studio
20 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was always in my house. I
Okay.
didn't just start. I started a long time ago. It was always in my house. I would record a friend's work, jingle, and all of that. My own. I was also using my songs and all that.
Okay.
So I decided that no, I don't have to keep this to myself. I need to register it, you know, and really work, you know, and help people to come out, and then also to train the young ones, you know,
Okay.
to also take over.
Okay.
As far as, you know, instrumentation and all these things are
Okay.
concerned. So that's the motivation, and we decided that okay, we're going to move out now.
Okay.
So we decided to get a nice place. Mr. Gardner gave us a nice place,
Okay.
and then we decided to start.
So what do you do here?
Yeah, we do three things. One, we record,
Okay.
live recording. We do live recording. Two, we train.
Okay.
You know, on the instruments. If anyone wants to learn a musical instrument, bass, guitar, what have you, we do that here. And then three, sometimes I get sad when musicians don't have a place to rehearse. I mean, and we caused it. You go to somebody's church, you rehearse with the instrument, then you spoil it and you leave the place.
Okay.
They bought it with money, you know.
Okay.
And so pastors are no more releasing their equipment for people who would spoil it and go. Well, even if that's not your intention, but the fact that they've gone through that experience, they will not release it. So we decided to have a place like this where you can come and actually feel free with your group and come and rehearse, you know, at a token, then you go, because we need to pay for, you know, bill. We need to pay bills and all that. My song, Sound of Abundance and Afuga, was recorded. Everything was recorded here.
Okay.
Yeah, every single thing was recorded here.
Okay.
And there are some we are still working on.
So what makes your studio very, you know, different from others?
This is one of the most important questions that you will ever ask any music a studio or a production house.
Okay.
That is where going to school is very important, because at school you are taught how to arrange songs. We look at lyrics, we look at structure of the song. Sometimes people will come with raw lyrics, you know.
Okay.
They don't even have their melody line. It deviates from where it's starting from, and we need to put everything back to shape,
Okay.
you know, so that whoever is listening, because there must be a structure to what you're doing,
Okay.
and this is where we do all of those. We'll sit
Oh,
you
okay.
down, and we don't rush people here. We believe you've brought a good idea. Let's see how we can work together
Okay.
and then make it happen. And another important thing is that sometimes you go to a studio to record, and then you listen to your own song, and it's as if somebody just gave you that song and said, sing it. You can't identify with what you yourself you
Okay.
composed. So we walk you through it. But as we are walking you through it, we want you to know that you are the originator. We are only helping to fine-tune it. And I have a great guys around me who I work with. You know, we'll sit down, we'll rehearse with you. Are you okay? Is this key okay for you?
Okay.
You know, I've had several people coming to me and say that I won't record that studio again. Why? Because the guy shouts at me, you know, and if I say I want this, he's bent on doing it his own way. Okay. So I think you can take the whole project and work with it, you know. So I think that's what sets us apart from any other studio.
Okay. Do you train people here?
From age 4.
Okay.
Age 4. I started that with my own children.
Okay.
Because if I want to be able to help other children, I need to be able to train my own.
Okay.
And from that, I realized that you can't underestimate children.
Okay.
So from 4, they've been doing amazing things. And if you were at my program,
Yes.
you saw the children playing, and there's been a growing interest, you know,
Okay.
of parents wanting to learn the musical. They had wards, you know, learning the musical instruments.
Do you have anything you want to add or say to other young artists coming up?
Yeah, what I want to say to the young artists coming is be careful of fame. You want to be here, you want to be there, you want to have this name, you want to have that. The will of God for your life is very, very important. Okay. And look for somebody who can mentor you. Sometimes we think that we can do things on my own. Yes, it is true. But when you go through the Bible, you realize that God will always place people under people to train. Okay. So make sure that you pray for the right role model or mentor to study under. And one thing that will set you apart is humility. Okay. You're humble. It doesn't mean you do yes to everybody, but it's coming from this place. People can identify when they get close to you. They can smell it. They can experience humility.
Thank you, Minister BiBi. Thank you very much for coming on the Wundef Show. Thank you very much for watching. We are coming to the end of another edition of the Wundef Show. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for very interesting interviews, and join us again next week. Bye.
The sound of the bounding rain pouring down from above. I hear the sound of a bounding rain pouring down from above, pouring out today, pouring over me, made my life anew, and I am complete. I hear the sound of abandoned bread. I hear the sound. It's approaching now. Of abandoned bread. Exceedingly abundantly above all you can imagine or say, according to the power that works in us. To him be the glory forever.